I want to talk about how HELOCs or home equity lines of credit or reverse mortgages can play a role in the Medicaid planning process. Essentially, the whole concept behind Medicaid planning is most of my clients come to me because their income is too high or they have too much by way of assets and they would prefer not to have to lose everything before they naturally qualify for Medicaid in Florida to cover a portion or the entirety of their long-term care services, whether that's receiving care at home or receiving care in an assisted living facility or skilled nursing facility. Okay, so that's the general idea. So essentially what we're trying to do, the goal with Medicaid planning, is to set assets aside in a Medicaid compliant, legal and ethical manner so that the client not only can accept what Medicaid covers, but have something else to provide for the niceties of life, to improve the quality of their life, to pay for more services. Sometimes Medicaid covers a lot, but it doesn't always cover everything. So if you can have Medicaid covering care at home or in a facility and have some money tucked away, again, all above board in an ethical manner, to cover what Medicaid doesn't, that's going to be really useful. So sometimes the client, my client, doesn't have the excess assets for us to set aside. They just need Medicaid, and sometimes they want our help just reducing time spent on the wait list, or they don't want to deal with the government because they can be a kind of a pain in the butt to deal with. And so we're getting them access to these benefits sooner, but either there's not enough money to set aside or that money runs out at some point in time, but my client still needs more help beyond what Medicaid provides. Or again, the idea is to improve the quality of life. It's nice to be able to pay for a little luxury or a little entertainment every once in a while, so we're not just solely focused all our money going towards care, although of course that's the primary goal. So the idea is, again, if we can access yet another source of money, then we can take advantage of our income, the money we've set aside, what Medicaid pays for, and now I'm going to introduce another source of funds that we can use for things that we need or want, which is the equity in our home. Okay, for those who own homes, most of my clients come to me, they have small mortgages or no mortgages at all. If what Medicaid provides is still not enough, there is a way to access the equity in the home. That's typically through the form of a reverse mortgage or what's known as a home equity line of credit or a HELOC. And the way it needs to be structured is if the money remains with the lender. Essentially, you can structure so they don't give you a lump sum of money that just sits in your bank account. The money remains with the mortgage lender, and you can pay bills from this essentially account that stays with the bank. And it's not in your name, it's still in the name of the mortgage company, right? So if you got a checkbook that has tapped into $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 worth of equity, that can be structured so that it does not negatively impact your Medicaid eligibility because it counts as a debt. It doesn't count as an asset when determining whether you are eligible for Medicaid. So again, for my clients who are remaining at home or who want to pay for a nicer facility or maybe a fully private room in a nursing home because Medicaid only covers a semi-private room, being able to tap into the equity of the home will allow you to pay for more things, improve the quality of your life. Now again, it is a loan. It does have to get paid back at some point in time. Maybe after my client passes away, then the children are selling it and they're paying back the loan and then they get to keep whatever the difference is. But it is allowing my client in Florida to be on Medicaid, to pay for more than what they would normally be able to afford and still likely have something to pass on to their heirs. So it's a little bit of you get to have your cake and eat it too. And again, all we're looking to do is get wrangle as many resources as possible, marshal as many resources as possible to put to work for the health, safety, and enjoyment and the quality of life of my client who might also be receiving Medicaid in Florida. So if you found this video helpful, if you want to talk more about Medicaid planning, or even if you have Medicaid, about how we can structure a home equity line of credit or a reverse mortgage so that it doesn't negatively impact your Medicaid so you can get more stuff or afford more services, happy to have that conversation or talk about anything related to Medicaid planning or estate planning or probate administration. We serve the entire state of Florida. If you found this video useful, please share it, please give it a thumbs up, and thank you very much for watching.